What's going on, guys? If you haven't heard, the government is printing money like there is no tomorrow. And most people are wondering, what are the repercussions from it? Are we headed towards hyperinflation? Where are interest rates gonna go? How much more money are they gonna print? These are all valid questions. Stay tuned and we're gonna answer them. Okay, so what's going on right now? The government has already passed different bills to print over $2 trillion in relief. I've already made one video about the Paycheck Protection Program. You can go find it in the link below. That's for small business owners. I was a recipient of it. I got over $100,000 that will be forgiven if I use it towards my payroll. If you don't know me, I own a few different real estate companies. So that's why I was able to qualify for so much. The AC just turned on, so I'm just gonna keep rolling with it. They're also giving out money for the EIDL. I'm gonna be doing a video on that one as well. We've gotten over $70,000 from it. And then there's the basic stimulus that most Americans are getting. There's a lot of money being handed out by the government at this time. So where does that money come from? It's not free, right? There's always a cost. There's no such thing as a free lunch. We all know that. So most people think that there's gonna be hyperinflation with all the money that the government is printing. But is that true? First off, let's actually talk about the difference between inflation and deflation. It seems pretty self-explanatory. Inflation happens when there's more money circulating in the economy. Prices go up because there's more money. And we've experienced inflation forever. Now, deflation would be the opposite. That's when prices are going down. Now, what would cause prices to go down? Maybe there's less demand for the product, so now the supplier has to lower the price in order for it to sell. Think about gas right now. Gas prices are going down because people aren't driving around as much. But also more supply can cause prices to go down. When there's more supply, people need to get rid of it and sell it, so they lower prices. So typically, supply and demand are going to drive deflation. What's happening in our economy? Well, we're pumping more money into it, so you would think that we're gonna have inflation. Inflation should happen because there's more money in the economy, and to be honest, that's what I thought would happen too. Until I read a book called The Price of Tomorrow. And this book was written before this pandemic, but the author of this book makes an amazing case on why deflation is actually what naturally happens. So let's get into some of the arguments that he makes in the book on why deflation is happening. But before we do that, make sure you go and smash the like button. And if you want to stay up to date on all my videos, make sure you subscribe as well. First off, I recommend you read the whole book yourself. It is such an amazing book. You can find it in the link below. But one of the big arguments that Jeff makes is that technology is what is going to cause deflation going forward. The fact of the matter is technology makes life so much easier and more efficient, and it actually gets cheaper over time. And the examples are everywhere. Think about cell phones. When a cell phone first came out back in whenever, it was this big old brick and it cost a lot of money. Not everyone had a cell phone. Fast forward 20, 30 years and we now all have these iPhones. Or if you're still stuck in the dark ages, you've got an Android. I know a lot of people complain about the new iPhone being so expensive, but you can go get an old iPhone for a few $100s. So we all live in this world where everyone has a car, everyone has a flat screen, everyone has a cell phone, and we all have this technology for not very much compared to what it used to be. And then you think about all the services that we have today. You know, when Amazon Prime first came out with 2-day shipping, it changed the game. You could buy whatever you want from Amazon. Then they created Prime Now where you can get your stuff in 2 hours. And I have no doubt that Jeff Bezos will figure out how to make things cheaper and get it to you quicker. I did a video about Elon Musk recently. You can check it out by clicking right here. And Tesla is a great example of how things continue to get cheaper. It was in Tesla's business plan to have a very expensive car, the Roadster, starting out. Then they had a less expensive car, the Model S and the Model X, but still very expensive, $100,000 plus cars. Once they finally were able to get the tech, build the economies of scale, then they created the Model 3, and now they've released the Model Y. These cars, they're selling for $40,000. So it didn't take them long to create a car that's the same price as a normal gasoline car, but has way more technology. It doesn't use gas, it's nicer, it can drive you around, and Musk has said they're gonna continue to get cheaper. Think about Google and social media. For you to search something on Google, it costs you nothing. Think about social media. It doesn't cost us anything to go open up a Facebook account, an Instagram, TikTok. By the way, make sure you go and follow me on all those platforms. I'm super active on them. But the fact is, they don't cost you anything. And we can make money on all of those things. If our business pops up on Google, we can make money. We market effectively on social media, we can drive traffic to our business and make money. They don't charge us anything to do that. Do you understand how crazy that is, that it costs nothing? That's the world we live in, where things continue to get cheaper, and it's because of technology. And that's the big point the author Jeff wanted to make in this book, The Price of Tomorrow. Technology is going to drive prices down further and further. That's naturally what is happening. So you're probably asking yourself, why are things so expensive then? And that's where the government comes into play. The government has had to artificially inflate prices to keep them going up. While technology is pushing prices down, the government wants to push prices up. Why is that? Well, think about the ultra wealthy. And I wouldn't consider myself ultra wealthy, but I'm someone who owns a lot of assets. So what do I want to happen in the long run? I want prices to go up. It will make me wealthier. If technology makes the price of everything go down, let's just say they're able to start making houses for super cheap. Well, that makes my assets not worth as much. That's not very good. So how can the government make my houses worth more? Well, they can lower interest rates. They lower interest rates, people will pay more for a house because now they can qualify for more. And that's what the government has been doing for years. They're just continuing to lower interest rates. They've done it during this pandemic because they want prices to remain where they are. The government does not want deflation. They're fighting against it. In order for us to maintain the inflation, the government is going to have to keep pumping money into the system. And unfortunately for most people, it also means that there will be less jobs, because with efficiency comes getting rid of the wasted manpower. It's natural that artificial intelligence will take over those jobs, and that's how they're able to keep prices going down. That's the battle raging right now, is that people want to keep their jobs, but they also want lower prices. In order to get lower prices, you have to figure out how you can do things for cheaper. And if robots can do them for a tenth of the price a human can do it, well, the consumer is going to benefit because now the product is way cheaper, but it comes at the cost of jobs. So there's this big problem brewing. You have products and things becoming better and cheaper, jobs being eliminated due to this, and you have the government trying to prop prices up on all of these assets. So they're all just fighting against each other. And I don't know how it's going to play out in the long run. I think it's inevitable that we have some type of reset, but it remains to be seen when that will happen. So is inflation happening or is deflation happening? The answer is actually both. I bet you didn't expect that. Deflation and inflation are competing against each other. Who's going to win out? I don't know. But here's what I can tell you. The government is not going to stop pumping money into the economy. That is the only way for our economy to keep going. With the CARES Act, they've pledged over $2 trillion in stimulus. There's many experts who believe that number could be up to 10 trillion. I believe at this point, it doesn't even matter. They're just going to continue to print money with no regards for tomorrow. So if you're going to bet on something, bet on more money being printed, bet on things continuing to get cheaper, and sit and wait and see what happens after, because obviously you cannot maintain that. You're probably thinking to yourself as well, what should I invest in then? If you really think asset prices are going to go down, what's even good? There's a lot of people who want to invest in Bitcoin for that reason. They think that because we're printing all this money, it'll eventually not be worth anything. I don't know that I believe that. I think the government's too powerful to let the dollar collapse. I do think owning real estate will always be a great idea. I'm gonna bet that the government's gonna do whatever they can to maintain the status quo. So I will continue to buy real estate. Maintaining cash is always good, but if the government does keep pumping money into the economy at a crazy rate, then holding on to all this cash isn't a good idea. You need to get into assets that are gonna appreciate. And that's why I'm a big fan of buying real estate that cash flows. No matter what the price does, if it goes up or down, if you cash flow, you make money. People are always going to need a place to live. That much I know. Homes ain't going anywhere. So for us, the strategy has not changed. We are still buying real estate. We're still fixing and flipping homes. I'm still buying rentals, but I just have a better understanding of where the economy is headed. And I hope that you guys can understand a little bit better now too. So if you got value out of this video and you learned something new, do me a favor, go hit the like button. As I said before, go follow me on all the social medias. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like. Make sure you hit the little bell button. You'll get notified every time I drop a new video. I post every single day on Instagram stories, just my daily vlogs and life and deals and things that we're doing. And then I post shenanigans on TikTok. So make sure you go check those out. So I appreciate you guys watching this video. Peace.